Hey everyone, and welcome back to Mysteries in the Dark, the podcast where we explore the most baffling, bizarre, and often brilliantly scientific happenings that seem to, well, happen mostly around us. I'm Luna Sparks, your guide to the wonderfully weird.
And I'm Omar, here to provide the common sense and usually to make sure Luna's incredible inventions don't accidentally take over the town. Or, just wiggle away from the table. We've had a few close calls.
Oh, Omar, you always say that. But in this episode, we have a truly glowing tale for you. Literally. This adventure began, as many of our best stories do, in the hallowed halls of my garage.
Otherwise known as the Lab of Wonder and Weird Smells. And let me tell you, that evening the weird smells were particularly prominent. It smelled like old socks mixed with a hint of fizzing soda and something vaguely electrical.
Artistic interpretation, Omar. It was the scent of pure scientific potential. I was meticulously tinkering, just putting the finishing touches on what I proudly called Goopium glorium.
Goopium, what now? I distinctly remember raising an eyebrow. My internal alarm system, which usually just buzzes when Luna says, "Behold," went into full siren mode when you unveiled that jar.
It's a magnificent name for a magnificent creation. This glowing green slime, Omar, was designed to absorb light and then release it slowly, almost like a biological battery for photons. Think about the applications.
Oh, I was thinking about them, and mostly picturing a massive mess. What were your grand visions for this Goopium glorium?
The possibilities were endless. I was swirling it around, imagining glow-in-the-dark pudding cups for late-night snacks, glow-in-the-dark toothbrushes so you never miss a spot in the dark, and my personal favorite, glow-in-the-dark sandwiches.
Sandwiches that glow? Luna, I think you'd lose your appetite, and probably your lunch, if your BLT started pulsing green. I mean, who wants to eat something that looks like it just escaped a nuclear waste facility?
It's all about the novelty, Omar. The innovation. We both had a good laugh about it, just picturing a glowing peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the fridge at 2 a.m.
Yeah, we did. Right up until the moment your scientific masterpiece decided to join the conversation. I think it was offended by my critique of its culinary potential.
It wobbled, just like a bowl of Jell-O after a small earthquake. And then it burped. A distinct, gassy blurp.
And then, as if that wasn't enough, it started to wiggle. Not just a little jiggle, but a purposeful, slithering wiggle right off the table. I mean, my jaw just hit the floor. I yelped, "Luna, your pudding just made a break for it."
Correction, Omar. As I calmly explained, grabbing my trusty magnifying goggles, which, let's be honest, make everything look more scientific. My scientific masterpiece was merely exploring its environment. It was a self-directed field trip.
A self-directed field trip that involved slithering under the garage door and out into the chilly night, leaving a shimmering, sparkling trail of green across the sidewalk. It was less exploring and more Great Escape Goop edition.
While it did leave a trail, a very convenient glow-in-the-dark trail, which made the Great Goop Chase, as you dubbed it, surprisingly easy to follow. We just had to follow the green breadcrumbs, so to speak.
Easy to follow, maybe, but not easy to explain to bewildered townspeople. We were essentially chasing a living, glowing puddle down Main Street. First stop, the bakery.
Oh, poor Mr. Henderson. He was just setting out his fresh glazed donuts, and the Goopium glorium just sort of shimmered past his window. I distinctly heard a scream, which I think was a mix of surprise and sheer horror.
Yeah, he probably thought the donuts were coming to life, or that he'd finally worked too many night shifts. Then it wobbled around the park fountain. I swear the ducks looked at it, quacked in what sounded like pure disgust, and then actively swam away from it. Even the pigeons gave it a wide berth.
See? It was making an impression, a very vivid green impression. And then, our glowing friend decided its final destination for the evening was the old library basement.
Of course, the old library basement. Because nothing says safe and easy retrieval like a dark, dusty, potentially spooky basement. The door creaked open, and honestly, the suspense was killing me. I whispered, "Okay, how do you even catch living slime?"
With science, Omar, and a touch of ingenuity, I confidently held up my secret weapon.
A giant butterfly net. You brought a giant butterfly net to catch an amorphous blob of glowing goo. I mean, my expectations are never high with your equipment choices, but that one really took the cake.
Well, it glows and it's slippery. It needs to be contained delicately. What did you bring, Mr. Common Sense?
A towel for emergencies. You know, to wipe things up or maybe throw over something if it got too unruly. A towel is versatile. A butterfly net just makes you look like you're about to capture a giant radioactive moth.
Details. Details. Anyway, we tiptoed deeper into the library basement. It was darker than a raven's wing except for the faint, pulsating glow ahead. And there it was, clinging to the wall.
And this is where things went from weird to utterly bizarre. It wasn't just stuck there, it was slowly spelling something, in glowing green letters, H-I, just hi.
I knew it. I knew it had intelligent properties. It could write.
Duh.
I grinned, completely unfazed. It's friendly, I declared triumphantly.
Friendly, yes. Also gassy, because right after you said that, it burped again, loudly this time, and splattered a healthy dose of glowing green goo right onto your shoes. I burst out laughing. Friendly and messy, I yelled.
A minor, affectionate gesture. Just as I was contemplating the best scientific approach to scooping it up, maybe the net wasn't the right tool for a wall-clingy situation. The lights in the entire library flickered, and then they went out, pitch black.
Absolutely, totally dark, except for your Goopium glorium. It was still stuck to the wall, but now it wasn't just a small patch. It was lighting up the whole room, like a giant neon green lantern. It was wow.
It really was. You whispered, wow. It's actually kind of beautiful. And you know what, Omar? For once, I completely agreed with your emotional assessment over your usual pragmatic one. It was truly a magnificent sight.
It was. It transformed from something I was trying to avoid stepping in to something genuinely awe-inspiring. It went from runaway experiment to accidental hero in about 3 seconds flat.
Exactly. It lit our way out of that dark, dusty basement. It showed us the path back to the exit. It was like it knew we needed a beacon. Looks like my experiment worked after all. Just not in the way I originally envisioned for glow-in-the-dark sandwiches.
Which is usually how it goes with your experiments, Luna. The next morning, we carefully, and I mean carefully, scooped the Goopium glorium back into its jar. It gave one last wiggle, a satisfied burp, and then dimmed down to a sleepy, gentle glow.
It was as if it was content with its grand adventure and ready for a good rest. A true hero after all its hard work lighting up our lives, literally.
Case solved. The glow-in-the-dark goop wasn't scary, or dangerous, or even trying to take over the world. It was just gassy and wanted to explore, and then, conveniently, provide emergency lighting.
Just another night of science, surprises, and spectacular slime here at Mysteries in the Dark. It goes to show, you never know where curiosity will lead you, or what unexpected benefits your glowing creations might bring.
That's certainly true. And it also goes to show that maybe bringing a towel isn't always the worst idea, even when faced with an intelligent, glowing, burping blob. Though I admit the butterfly net did give it a certain dramatic flair.
It did. And who knows what wonders we'll stumble upon next week. Maybe a talking squirrel, or a sentient garden gnome, or another experiment that decides to make a run for it.
Yeah, I'm already bracing myself for whatever unpredictable, glowing, or wiggling event is on the horizon. My job is never boring, that's for sure.
Never boring, always enlightening. So, join us next time for another mysterious, marvelous, and maybe slightly messy adventure right here in Mysteries in the Dark. We've got more secrets to uncover and more wonders to behold.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us, leave us a glowing review, pun intended, and share our podcast with your family and friends. Tell them about the Goop, the Chase, and the basement. We love hearing from you.
Absolutely. Your support helps us keep exploring the unknown, one weird smell and glowing slime at a time. Until then, keep your eyes peeled for the extraordinary in the everyday.
And that maybe, just maybe, keep a towel handy. You never know when you'll need it. Bye, everyone.
See you next time, adventurers.